Hi.
Toronto. VK on the beat. Check. I'm in Toronto where you wanna get the city love. I'm from Toronto where you wanna get the city love. I'm in Toronto like we wanna get the city love. My city love me back for my city love. I'm in Toronto.
Welcome to episode 1222. That's 1222 of Toronto Mic'd. Proudly brought to you by Great Lakes Brewery, a fiercely independent craft brewery who believes in supporting communities, good times, and brewing amazing beer. Order online for free local home delivery in the GTA. Palma Pasta. Enjoy the taste of fresh, homemade Italian pasta and entrees from Palma Pasta in Mississauga and Oakville. Electronic Products Recycling Association. Committing to our planet's future means properly recycling our electronics of the past. And Ridley Funeral Home. Pillars of the community since 1921. Joining me today, making his Toronto Mike debut, is Friendly Rich.
Hi.
Are you friendly, Rich?
I hope so. I think so. You know, I get along well with strangers and old friends, so let's do it.
But did you give yourself the nickname, the moniker Friendly, or was that granted upon you by people who felt you were a friendly guy?
It was an old friend took my face and slapped it on the Friendly Giant
Oh, Bob Homey.
years ago.
Wow.
And he said, Friendly Rich, and he made a poster. And because I was friendly to strangers, it kind of stuck. So here we are.
I loved the Friendly Giant.
Oh, the best, right?
Just like when he put that chair out for me, like that was for me, man.
Yeah.
Like, I was going to get cozy in front of the fire.
Yeah. It's comfort food in a way. Yeah.
And the rooster and
Oh,
Jerome,
yeah.
the
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, there's a certain, like, now I know you're
Yeah.
vintage. Like, there's
Mhm.
only that certain, I don't know,
Yeah.
age that can
Yeah.
relate like this to the
Yeah.
Friendly Giant. Like, you're not
Yeah.
too old for it. You're not too young for it. You're right there in the wheelhouse. Okay,
It's
shout out
kinda
to Friendly Giant.
timeless. Yeah.
Man. And you know, he wouldn't do public appearances because he didn't want kids to realize he wasn't a giant. Like, he's just an average sized man. So he wouldn't appear like at events or like in front of like schools and stuff like that because he wanted to keep the myth.
That's kind of smart.
Yeah, because you're going to see this guy. Hey, he's the same. He's shorter than my principal. What the WTF?
Right.
What's going on?
Right.
And then kids, what would you believe? Like, can I believe in anything?
Right. No. The answer is no.
Okay, so you're friendly, but are you rich?
I do well. I do well for
Really?
for a weirdo artist. You know, I try my best. I punch above my weight, and I weigh enough.
Okay. I didn't see that coming. I just
See?
assumed you were like every other artist in this country, and you were coming
Struggling?
here basically for the Palma Pasta, so you could actually have a meal.
Well, I am Italian, of Italian descent, so
Okay.
the Palma Pasta resonates.
Well, listen, since I just dropped that hint,
Yeah.
you will leave here today, Mr. Friendly Rich.
Come
You
on.
will leave here with a large lasagna. It's frozen. It's in my lasagna. It's going home with you.
Oh my
You're going to
gosh.
enjoy some Palma Pasta.
This is exciting.
I know. I'm not done yet. Look, I want to give you some fresh craft beer. You're
Wow.
leaving here with Great Lakes beer.
Really?
Yep.
Wow, you are very generous. I
had no
love
idea.
this,
You had no idea.
Toronto Mike.
You had no
Thank
idea.
you. No, I'm loving it. Thank you.
So
make
you
me
are
feel at home.
you're literally here for the conversation. You're not here for the pasta and the beer.
I'm going to say it's a power trio. I'm here for all of it at this point. Yeah, I'll take it.
But your name is Richard.
Yes.
That's the real Rich that makes you Friendly Rich.
Yes.
Okay. Good. Now that we're learning a lot about you today. Live Fumpka writes in when Live Fumpka learned that Friendly Rich was finally making his Toronto Mike debut.
Uh-huh.
She's asking, is there an unfriendly version, like an unfriendly Rich out there?
I often, when I'm on stage, I'm barking at people, and I can come off as abrasive and possibly unfriendly. Yes, it comes up a lot.
Okay, we have so much to learn. So I know there's a lot of people listening right now are like who's Friendly Rich and what stages are you on and how did he get so wealthy? And I have a note in here. This is the handle on Twitter is My School Rocks.
Okay.
Okay. That's fantastic, Toronto Mike.
Yes.
I had the pleasure of knowing Rich and his brother since high school.
Right.
What high school did you go to?
I went to St. Thomas Aquinas in Brampton, Ontario.
Shout out to Brampton.
Yes.
He's a supremely talented, funny, and engaging artist.
Oh, very kind.
I was wondering how the Regent Park Children's Choir is going.
It's going very well. We're still standing post-pandemic. So I work at the Regent Park School of Music. I'm the executive director there, among many other hats that I wear. So I've been doing that for 13 years, and it's a passion project for sure, and still survives.
Give us a bit more. Like, what is it?
Yeah, it's a community music school, so it's over 800 students across the city who may not otherwise have access to music education get a free music lesson once a week.
Firstly, that's amazing because one of the before the pandemic, it was actually falling, like music in schools.
Yep.
It's disappearing.
Yeah.
So good on you because there's so much evidence that how it nurtures a child and how good it is for their development to learn an instrument.
Oh yeah, it's saved my life on many occasions, and I've seen it like being there 13 years now. That's like a generation of kids, and I've seen it kind of transform communities. Not only Regent Park, but we're also in Jane Finch and other neighborhoods. So yeah, it's dear to my heart, and I could talk all night about that. You know, it's really really fun work and tough work too. You know,
each of my kids came home with a recorder.
Yeah.
But I never got a recorder. Like how did I miss the recorder part of primary school?
Really?
Yeah, I never got a recorder.
And watching The Friendly Giant didn't make you want to like go back there and pick up the old rooster?
Of course it did. But so no one nurtured my musical gift. I'm just saying at St. Pius in the 80s, I did not receive a recorder. But I mean, I just assume now everyone gets that recorder for a week or whatever the heck it is.
St. Pius, though, that's a fun name for a school, eh?
Yeah, and not just St. Pius, but the 10th. There were 9 Piuses before this.
Right.
Before this guy.
Were you an altar boy?
No. Were you?
Yeah.
Are you okay?
No, not really.
You want to talk about that?
Not really. In fact, there's a group. Kevin Bright invited me to this group, and I felt like it was being like, I don't know, like brought into some secret cult. But it was like a group of not ex-Catholics, but primarily, I guess,
like lapsed Catholics.
Like lapsed Catholics, but Catholic musicians who were altar boys when they were kids.
Oh.
And going to this lunch was it was a dinner. It was amazing. It was in Waynfleet, and it was like
where's Waynfleet?
Just I think it's near Welland.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
Yeah,
and that's where the canal is.
Right. Good. It was amazing, and what a meal! First off, but like intelligentsia of Toronto or GTA musicians who were once altar boys.
Was Mike Boguski there?
Didn't see him there.
Do you know Mike?
Only through I do through mutual friends, musicians.
He went to my high school.
Oh, neat. St. Pius. Okay, so you never know.
Well, St. Pius is a primary school. So
okay.
Michael Power. And his brother was in my class, Mark Boguski.
Wow.
So, shout out to Blue Rodeos.
Yes.
Mike Boguski. Okay. So he finishes this. My school rocks. And everybody, we're going to learn who the hell is this fine-looking bearded gentleman who's in my basement right now. And he's working with the Regent Park Children's Choir. As if that's not enough. We're going to learn more. I have a lot of music queued up too.
Okay.
In fact, My School Rocks wraps up his lovely note by saying, this will rock. Been too long since I heard Friendly Rich.
Okay.
Well, tell My School Rocks you got new music you can hear, right?
I do. Yeah.
We'll shut it out now and we'll talk about it later.
Okay. End of the month, March 31st, 2023. A new record. I've been working for a few years now on it. It's called Man Out of Time.
Woo!
Exciting.
Okay, awesome. We're going to hear some choice cuts from that release in, I don't know, about half an hour. Cam Brio writes in, this will be the second musicologist on the show. So I will read Cam's note, but I will interject here and there my own thoughts, which is, are you friendly? Morgan, I'm downstairs. So I'm the only adult in the house.
I'm enjoying this.
The sweet just turned 7-year-old might come down and ask a question, but that's okay. I like it.
It's great.
When Brad Roberts was just on the show from Crash's Dummies, and you should hear this episode just to hear the New York traffic.
Oh yeah,
like he had his windows closed and everything, but it sounds like he's in the middle of like Times Square or something like that. So
nice.
So come down if you need something. Okay. So Cambrio, so are you a musicologist, Friendly Rich?
No. I mean, I have a PhD in music education, which is not musicology, but close enough.
Okay, because Mike Daly came on the show,
Yeah.
and he is a musicologist.
Yes.
So we're now like at, I mean, I'm kind of leading the charge against people who are simply, maybe they're music knowledgeable in the field of music, or maybe
Sure.
they're passionately like interested in music, but are using the term musicologist because this is a very specific study.
Yeah.
So you're not a musicologist, but
I
you do have a
cannot say.
PhD in music.
That's right.
Okay.
Dr. Dick.
Cambria wants to know, what's your favorite venue to play in Toronto?
I'm going to say the Cameron House. I don't have to think twice. It is the Cameron House. For sure. It's such a beautiful, historic pillar in the city, and they've, since day one, just made time for weirdos like me to develop and foster their voice in music. So I can't thank them enough. Yeah.
Do you know Justin Rutledge?
Sure.
Like, you know him personally, I should say.
Met him at a wedding in October at a good friend of mine.
Really? Whose wedding?
Tom Uhas and Joan Smith. Shout out to them. They
Wow.
got married at the Cameron House, and Justin was there because he plays with them.
Okay,
Or they play with him, I guess.
that's amazing.
Mhm.
Richard Flohill was just here.
Mhm.
He takes he's partial credit in getting Justin Rutledge his like a record deal at some
Oh,
point,
neat,
so.
neat. Yeah, no, it's a special place. It's a small venue, but it packs a punch, right?
Yeah, and did you know that Dave Hodge's favorite musical artist of all time is Mr. Justin Rutledge?
I did not know that. Dave Hodge, like the Hockey Dave?
The one and only. Absolutely.
Wow.
Cambria wants to know, what's the smallest venue you've ever played?
I played a wagon down by the river in Germany in a place called Offenbach. It was called Wagenhalle, and when we first wheeled up there with like harps and a drum kit, we were like a 5-piece band, we were all like kind of down on it, going like, is this what the music gods have given us, that we're playing a wagon down by the river? Like, really? But then it was like, you get talking about it, and tours since then we've been like, yeah, we got to play that wagon down by the river. Like, it's such a cool spot. So that one stands out for me. Very small. Like, I think it would fit 20 people in it at most, but amazing shows in there. Yeah.
Well, if you ever play my basement,
Yeah,
that could be the new answer, I think. There's been several wonderful artists that played this, this
really?
site, right?
Really?
With one person in attendance, and that's me, myself, and I. I guess that's
That's
three
cool.
people. Okay. Are you familiar? This is still Cambrio. He's got a
Okay.
few more. Are you familiar with Dan Mangan's Side Door Access?
Yeah, I'm familiar. I've heard of it.
He wants to know, his question is, could it be successful?
I don't know enough about it. I know that it's like a presenting like house tour kind of, or no, it affiliates with venues and stuff like that. Listen, we need that kind of thinking in 2023 to keep the live music scene alive. In a lot of ways, you see it thriving in the city, but in a lot of other ways, you see it like struggling to figure out who it is coming out of the pandemic. So I'm down and I'm supportive, and I think artists like Dan Mangan getting their hands a little dirty with that side of the music industry is actually quite kind of healthy, because sometimes you need the artists pushing and leading the charge. So I applaud it. I don't know enough about it though. I don't know if it's for me per se, but I think it's really healthy for the scene in general.
All right, Friendly Rich, we're going to go back in time.
Okay.
Come with me. Hold my hand. We're going back to the wonderful decade that is the 1990s.
Oh, amazing.
What is the King Stanislav Show?
Oh my God. Okay. Friends and I made like clay animated, children's shows, and it was a children's show, and it got picked up. It's like a Russian kids show, and I did the music for it.
It
was like
aired in Russia?
Early days. Yeah, in Russia.
Like 94? around-
Early days of my career. I just landed these weird things. They just sort of fell on my lap.
But is that your first, like, I don't know, thing you did that would appear on a
Scoring.
screen?
Yeah, it was. It was. Yeah, the
So then-
90s.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you're a big deal in Russia, composing music for the King Stanislav. So you're from Brampton.
I am the
Okay.
home of culture herself.
And you always knew you'd work in music, or was this your calling?
For sure. Like, it helped me. I think music has played that role in my life, that it's always kept me. It's that self-expression that has like saved me time and time again from, I think, losing my shit. So I'm super thankful to have that outlet. I've been doing it since I was 11. So
Wow.
Yeah.
Approximately how old are you? And you must be a pretty young man when you're doing music for the King Stanislav show.
Yeah, I'm like late high school,
Wow.
so I don't know.
Okay, good for you, man.
Yeah.
Good for you. Now, here's a name. I'm not as familiar with the King Stanislav show as I should be, but I definitely watched. I didn't watch it on my MTV actually, but I watched it on Cable 10. But Tom Green show.
Yeah.
What did you do for the Tom Green show that aired on MTV?
I did music for, I think it was like 3 seasons, like background music stuff that I was doing for the King Stan show anyway. Got recycled, and I threw him literally all the music I'd ever made on like CDRs and mailed them down to Ottawa, and he used it all on the Comedy Network. I gave it away for like, $5 a piece of music.
Wow.
And then when he went to MTV, he kept being loyal to me, and it ended up like paying for my house in my first house.
Wow.
Yeah. God bless the music industry.
He's a good guy. I always felt like he'd be a great Toronto Mike guest, and I DM'd with him back and forth, and then logistically, I don't know if he was. I don't think he wanted to, visit my basement. To be quite honest, like
well,
maybe
beautiful.
if you vouch for it or
oh
something,
my God,
be like,
you're
Tom,
surrounded by pasta and beer and hospitality. Yes.
Let's
This is
just
a
let him know
beautiful
it's
spot.
a safe space, and you can just hang out for an hour or so and shoot the breeze with Toronto Mike. And I know he spends a lot of time here. Like, has he moved here? Do you know?
He's in. He's moved back to the Ottawa region.
He's in Ottawa.
Yeah,
He's back in Ottawa.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, so this is a big step up for you because the King Stanislav show, this Russian TV series, and then you're doing the Tom Green show. Like, that's quite the step up.
I'm super thankful just for all of these kind of things that, I mean, not that I haven't hustled in life, but things like Tom Green and others of just kind of right place, right time. And I'm super thankful for those connections and those experiences. And they all lead to other things and new friends and new experiences. And it's just kind of like helped kind of kick off my career in making weird, strange music,
So I'm giving you permission. You can name drop as much as you want. Like, I enjoy the name drop. And if you want to interject with, like, it's not bragging to, like, sort of, I don't know, celebrate your bio or like your CV or whatever. I know some Canadians, some crazy Canadians think like they need to be humble all the time. But I like that shit. But I am going to play a clip I pulled. This is the nation's music station. We'll listen and then we can talk over this and bring it down. But
oh, wow.
The Brad TV Christmas extravaganza continues here from Much Music headquarters, corner Queen and John, Toronto, Ontario. Friendly Rich and the Canadian All-Stars with me.
How you doing?
Pretty good, Rich. You?
I'm stout.
Rich and I have known each other for a couple years now, and we've been chatting throughout this year, looking for an opportunity for the two of us to come together and give a little something back. I mean, I give back where I'm at, and he gives back where he's at.
There's the
we got
recorder.
Christmas 2002.
yeah, I'm jealous.
We can combine our love of giving.
Okay, he just dropped the year.
With Rich's love
Again, if you
of
want to,
Geddy
you can
Lee.
just raise it up like a composer, a conductor here. Sorry. Did you ever see Tar?
No, not yet, no.
It's good.
Okay.
He's a great man.
Hold on.
We're
okay.
here to pay tribute.
Oh,
Well,
Geddy
let's
Lee.
do so. The other night, we went out and about, traipsed about the neighborhood, caroling in the cold, hoping to share our gift with Geddy Lee. Take a look at this here on Brad
So I
TV.
watched
forgot
this. You're
about
looking
this.
for Geddy Lee's house. So what am I listening to?
One of my early bands on Much Music. I don't know when that would be, but
Well, he said it was Christmas 2002.
oh wow, you're good. Okay.
Well, he
very
said
good.
it.
He's
Bradford
good.
House. I just said it.
You're a great listener.
You still friends with Bradford?
Yes.
What's up with Bradford?
He's moved to the U.S. He's still doing his
we lost
thing.
another one.
Yeah, I know. But a lovely soul, and all those old Much Music crew, like him, Strombo, like all of them are really, I think, in my universe loosely, and
What
that
about the
was
sock?
a lot of fun.
You friendly with the sock?
And no, so I mean, maybe came across him once or twice, but not much. Okay. Respect him to the end,
Yeah, Steve Kersner.
Yeah.
He said something very nice about me on Twitter yesterday.
Is that right?
So, yeah.
Okay, wow.
So what?
This is fresh.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a little bit. I think I'm going to use the word bitter.
Yeah,
because
maybe.
299 Queen Street is a documentary that's coming out.
Oh, right.
Like imminently,
Right,
it's going to be on Crave.
Yeah.
And it's like about 299 Queen Street, about
Yeah.
the Much Music people there.
Yeah.
But Steve Kersner, who is Ed the Sock, was not invited to participate, and he sent a note to the director, like, why wasn't I invited? And never heard back. So
Okay.
now I'm interested to know who was invited and who wasn't.
Yeah, interesting.
Like, why aren't you talking to Ed the Sock?
Right. Yeah, I don't know how that stuff goes, but
Bradford Howe.
yeah, man, Bradford.
And then we're gonna get back to you.
Bradford's super supportive, and he let me drink like, I don't know, I might have drank like 8 liters of eggnog that night as part of that, and it was a mess. We made a real mess there. Like, it was, I mean, look, Tom Green was in the air. I was a shit disturber back then, you know, so it got ugly at times.
Well, 2002 is a crazy time. Like, we were dropping R words, and we were all like, gently homophobic, and it was like when looking back, it's like that's complete madness.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. But you know, Much Music was also like, they let me in periodically to do weird things like this. You know, they do come out to the arts festival. I used to do an independent arts festival in Brampton, and I remember Strombo did a feature on that too, and it was just pretty cool to be like picked up periodically and a light shone on the weird stuff, you know, which is appreciated. Yeah.
Okay. So can I like, again, it's gonna be a little random here, but I'm gonna play something, man. I'm gonna play something. What am I gonna play? I'm gonna play this.
John Chavallo, he's from Toronto. He is the hero of this here story. He's John Chavallo, he would not swallow all of the punch yeah, they made for lunch.
Yes.
Round 1.
I'm excited because this song is on the set list I'm going to be playing in about a couple of weeks in Louisville, Kentucky.
Okay, let's hear a bit more and we'll talk about it.
Woo.
Round 2. It was 66 and I remember the day when George Chavallo for the cash is clear. When the bout was done, the two stood standing while the judges judged. The fans kept chanting, he would always hit him with a left, right, left. Big George Chavallo, he's from Toronto. He is the hero of this here story. He's George Chavallo, he would not swallow all of the punch yeah, that made for lunch.
The Ballad of George Chavallo.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, how do you describe your music? And then we'll get to the song. But like, how would you describe your music, Friendly Rich?
Oh boy, there is anthropology involved. You know, where I say formally I'm not a musicologist. I'm paying attention to what's around me, and like George Chavallo, like someone's got to write a song about him, and I'm proud to say in this case it was me. You know, I love just kind of telling weird stories and sharing. He's a heroic figure. I also did like a 4-part suite called the Terry Fox Suite. I love Terry Fox.
Me too, buddy. You know what? We're almost the same person, except I have no musical talent thanks to the fact I never had a fucking recorder.
Yeah, you needed that recorder. It's not too late. That's the good news.
Oh, bless your heart. Okay, so George Chavallo, there's an entire episode of Toronto Mic'd about George Chavallo, but George wasn't
amazing.
well enough to be the guest. It's Mitch Chavallo, his son.
Oh, sick.
His only surviving son, of course, because of the tragedy in the Chavallo family.
Yes.
So people who want to learn more about George, listen to the Ballad of George Chavallo from Friendly Rich, and then go find that tribute to George Chavallo in the Toronto Mike feed.
I'm digging that up. Thank you.
So where, like, would they air this video on Much Music?
Is there a video? Yes, there is. I shouldn't say
I
that.
watched the
Yes,
video.
There is a video. And no, they didn't air. Much Music was long gone.
Are you really friendly? Show me your driver's license.
No, it's an AI. I just had an AI representative show up and do the interview for. No, there's Much Music was long gone. I mean, it's nice to have survived past Much Music. You know, you feel like you feel like George Chavallo in the arts, right? Surviving past like the actual broadcast corporation that would support us, or the newspapers in some instances that would support us, or the venues.
What newspapers would support you?
Well,
can I guess? Toronto.
Yeah, now used to be
Now.
pretty good, but
Sure.
now we're done. Now it's like survival of the fittest, and it's kind of
we
fun.
really are done in all. There's no alts. Like, I mean, now they bought the logo. This guy Brandon Gomez and his group bought the logo, but for Now Toronto, but Now Weekly. But it's not at all anything in the spirit of what Now was.
Yes, exactly.
It's just a logo, basically.
But there's folks like you doing the
It's a
good work.
domain name.
Yeah, it's
I'm
a different.
trying, man.
It's a different thing, and you know what? Maybe equally exciting. Maybe even more. You get pasta.
That's right. Now
Right.
never gave anybody
This shit's pasta powered.
pasta from Palma Pasta. They catered my daughter's birthday on the weekend. Palma Pasta, delicious.
Love it.
We had penne. My daughter loves this penne with rosé sauce, and I had a
Okay.
meat lasagna and
wow.
some Baby cow. You know this?
Say that again now.
Baby cow.
Baby cow, like mortadella?
veal
What are we
Parmesan.
talking about? Oh, okay. A little baby cow, yes.
Yeah, baby cow. Okay. So, wow. Now I want to...
10 rounds, the Ballad of George Chavello. 10
He never got
rounds.
knocked down, this man.
No.
And he's
no.
still with us.
That's right. He's
Because Mitch
still
will
with us.
post photos. He's
Yeah.
not...
Yeah.
He's not bad. I don't know. You know who he's good buds with? John Gallagher. Do you know this character,
sure,
John Gallagher?
Sure.
Okay,
Is
I'm
that
gonna
not
ask you-
much music related as well?
City TV.
Yeah, okay.
Like, I don't think he
A
ever did
family.
much stuff, but it's
Family.
299 Queen Street for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
He was on Q107 and stuff. I'm going to ask you about another guy who's kind of, been invited into 299 Queen, who's kind of a funky character, and I want to know what you think of him. James B.
Yes.
What say you? That's why I rotated. I don't know if you saw here, but I had Maestro Fresh West there.
Okay.
And I rotated my vinyl a minute ago to
Yeah.
put the Look people in the
Oh,
front.
yeah, great.
There's James B right there.
great.
Shout out to Kevin Hearn. He's a
Yeah.
good FOTM.
Yeah.
What say you about James B? Do you
Well-
think he's famous? And then tell me what you think of him.
I don't know. Sure. I'm going to say he's famous. And
I agree with you.
I think he's totally he's a role model. He's been a great supporter of my brand of weird. Like, I'm playing a show at the Old Mill on April 12th in support of the Unison Fund, where he's put me kind of dueling with Fred Speck offsets. So I do a set, Fred does a set, I do a set, Fred does a set. And not a lot of people are taking chances like that. So I applaud what he's doing, and I think he's a big inspiration. He did a Christmas record through the pandemic where I got to sing alongside Mary Margaret O'Hara.
Wow.
What an honor. So he's a legend. Yeah.
And he's an FOTM. You are also Friendly Rich. You are an FOTM. That means you are a friend of Toronto Mic'd.
Oh, boy.
You and James B. So you're in good company. And Kevin Hearn, of course.
How
Okay.
exciting. How exciting.
I'm just going to play something else, and then we're going to learn more about you.
This is fun.
I think you're fascinating. Here we go. And we'll see if you recognize anything I play.
Yes.
Regulated sausage is made from gypsy meat from the Jardin market.
Is this with the Lollipop people?
Yeah.
What am I listening to?
Yeah, that's from my Bountiful record, and that was one of the singles. It's called Sausage Samba. The Lollipop people, yeah. I mean, that was one of the bands that would play very regularly at the Cameron House, this band. Featuring that's Nicholas Robertson on the guitar and Sly Uhas on the drums, yeah.
Okay.
And these lyrics, mortadella meat is dead donkey. Great, some deep shit.
Wow. So, like the Lollipop people, you're just running the same circle, and you said let's collaborate.
No, I mean all of it goes back to those early Much Music days. Actually,
Okay, tell me the
Sly
long form
Uhas-
story.
Well, Sly Uhas is the drummer on that session where I'm pouring eggnog all over my head, and I've remained loyal to as many musicians as I can. So it's kind of like making longtime friend. Like that's over 20 years. Making friends through music. It's what Dave Clark from the Rheostatics and the Woodchoppers and the Woodshed Orchestra has taught me, and I love that. That's a good kind of mantra for us weirdo musicians or any community-minded musician. And so this band you're hearing now, I am still in touch with. There's Steve Ward and Scott Thompson on trombone, and yeah, so many dear friends. That's why we do it. It's equal to the music I make is the adventures and the kind of connections it fosters. Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Tell me what's Again, I'm jumping around, but
Yep.
you can guide me anywhere you want. But Tom Fitzgerald had a film called Three Needles.
Oh yeah,
Lucy Liu's in this thing.
Yeah. I did.
That's
some-
wild. Wait, before you go,
Yeah.
Lucy Liu
Yes.
is in Charlie's Angels with Drew Barrymore, who was
Right.
married to Tom fucking Green.
Yeah. What's going on here? That's okay. That I didn't even make that connection. But yeah, like, first off, the director, the guy who animated that video for Sausage Samba, is a weapon. His name is Smearballs, Nick Dembour. He's here in Toronto, and he's insane. Like, he worked for Conan. He's doing a lot of stuff with Deadmau5 and a bunch of others. He's just amazing. Flying Lotus, you name it. The list is long. But the Three Needles. They used I think 3 of my tunes from like my first record, Where the Baker Sleeps and other tracks. So it's exciting. These things kind of come from just, I don't know where they come from, right? These connections. It's kind of neat.
But you're friendly.
Maybe that is a
Maybe
good
that's your
rule.
secret weapon.
Maybe
like,
that is a good rule. I find we're supposed to be nice to each other, right? So I can understand like that whole thing you were talking about with Ed the Sock is unfortunate because like I sent like a nasty note to here's a lesson. I sent a nasty note to the Montreal Pop what is it called? Pop Montreal. Because I brought 2 vanfuls of music, like a big ensemble, like a 12-piece ensemble down to Pop Montreal like 20 years ago now, 15 maybe or more. And they put us and the Silver Hearts in the smallest venue in Montreal, Barfly. And I just thought it was really, I don't know, maybe I was like young and aspirational, but I just thought it was a bad fit. I knew what they were going for of like putting us in a dive bar, but like it didn't feel good. They didn't put us up in a hotel, so we ended up driving home back to Toronto that night. And it was just like a really weird experience. And I wrote them a really nasty email, and guess what? They never invited us back to play the Pop Montreal. And I kind of learned that as like, how many of us burn our own bridges or make our own beds? Like I live with that in the back of my mind and just go, yeah, that was probably the wrong move.
But you still need to stand up for yourself as,
agreed,
as an artist and a human being. But I know it's just such a small, like, I mean, even on the show when I have people on and everyone's connected somehow. And I realize this country of ours, I guess we're 35 million strong, but it might as well be a little village. Like everything is connected. You can't afford to burn a bridge. Imagine you were in radio and you got mad at Bell Media. Well, you just lost 1/3 of your job opportunities. And then Rogers doesn't want to touch you because of how you treated Bell Media, and next thing you know it's what are you gonna do? You gotta leave the industry.
Yeah, I think so. So it's like, try to be friendly, try to be nice to people, don't get walked over, I agree, like there comes a time when you got to stick up for yourself, but you
learned a valuable lesson. Okay, now how did Tom Fitzgerald come to know you? Just that you're a friendly guy?
You know what, I honestly can't remember. It's just like these things I love tracing. Forget about like not even Tom Fitzgerald or other filmmakers or anything. It's like sometimes I'll go up to a musician who I've known for 20 years and go like, how did we meet in the first place? It's just like it blurs. It becomes almost like a soup where it's like that, but that is your universe, right? And it's a beautiful thing. Yeah.
Now I see here he is because I always thought he was American. He is American, but he resides in Nova Scotia now, for example, Tom Fitzgerald. And he's kind of an American Canadian now. So
okay, smart choice.
I'm just on his wiki page to learn.
Look at you. This is great. Yeah. No, I'm learning about Tom Fitzgerald. Maybe I'll reach out after this and just say, hey, man, remember me?
He's in Nova Scotia, for goodness sakes. When
That's nice to hear, actually.
Yeah. So he's from New York.
You know where I get along nicely with a lot of strangers?
Maritimes.
Yeah, man.
But everyone
when I go
does.
there,
you don't even have to be friendly.
Exactly.
There's no assholes coming out of the Maritimes.
Amen to that.
As far as I know. Okay, maybe Brad Marchand, I don't know, but there's not too many.
Yeah.
Okay, now tell me, we already talked about the Lollipop people, but Old Trout Puppet Workshop.
Yeah, I did a thing called the what's it called? Something of Captain Alonzo. It was like a 6-minute puppet opera, and they did a short film with Dev Singh. That's a dream to work with those guys. Those guys are like masters in the field of puppetry. So it was an honor to score that.
Well, I don't doubt that for a minute here, but I am trying to figure out where you make your money. Like,
oh, really? That's what we're doing. No. Oh, that's amazing.
Like, it doesn't matter to me, except what you're doing here is very like punk in the sense that it's
Well,
no
thanks.
sellout. Like you're not gonna, you're not gonna create music to go mainstream and end up on some Netflix show.
I mean, look, I am talking to some music supervisors at the moment about doing projects like that because I think
Right.
that's really fun, and I don't
Right.
think that's selling out. I think that's, I don't know. We all have it in us to do stuff for the wrong artistic reasons, but I've managed. I think you're right in touching on that. I have managed to do it on my terms and fund it the way I have to. But yeah, I've also been really smart with my money. Like since Tom Green gave me that gift early in my career,
Yeah.
I bought a house and then sold a house.
Smart.
You know,
Yeah.
and
So-
doing everything I can to stay weird. Yeah,
Thank you, Tom.
yeah.
Tadpole.
Yeah, that's recent. That's an Italian director, animator, Gabriele Favarato, and I got to collaborate with the great Brett Higgins from Great Lakes Swimmers and other acts in town, and he's a wonderful musician. And Gabriele, actually, an Italian, brought us together. He said, "I want you two to collaborate," and boy, did we ever! It was great to go into the studio with him and kind of belt that score out. Yeah. Lots of fun adventures. That's that. Thanks for that. The reminder that was
Well,
done in the pandemic.
That was 2022, and then
Yeah.
just before that, tell me about the Brampton Indie Arts Festival.
Oh well, I used to put that on. It was
Used
like
to past tense.
yeah. It was about a decade. I did it from
2000, I guess.
I
right.
think 99 or 2000 to 2010, around there. Yeah, it ran for about a decade in my hometown, and it was really to battle boredom. So we'd have everybody from, the Nihilist Spasm Band in London to Mark Rebo came up. And
Well, I
did
want to
it,
ask you
yeah.
about some of the people that
Sure,
you
sure.
featured. No longer with us, but a gentleman.
Yep.
I know quite well just from like studying the city and its history.
Mm-hmm.
Nash the Slash.
Well, yeah, and there's a documentary being made on Nash.
All right.
The last track on my record, my upcoming Man Out of Time record, is called "Thanks for All the Fish." And it takes some of Nash's words that he wrote on his website when he kind of left the music industry and puts it to music. And they're using it in the documentary film about him that's coming out next year, I think, or maybe this year.
Interesting, because we
Yeah.
just got the Much documentary. We got an
Yep.
underwhelming Harold Ballard doc, and there's a
Ooh,
CFNY
yes.
doc that just finished filming that they're
Yep.
just putting together right
Wait
now.
for it. It's directed by or brought together by Colin Brunton, who did Schitt's Creek and The Last Pogo. So it's an exciting thing. Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay, Gary Top is in my
Okay.
basement next week.
Well, I'll talk to Gary. Say hi to Gary. Give him my love. Gary was part of the reason why that track is on that documentary. And
This
he
is what I
helped
mean
to
by
write
it being
those
a small
lyrics.
world. Right?
Yep, yeah,
Although I
yeah.
am kind of poking around at the
Very
heart
good, very
of this
good.
world.
No, I love that. I love that. Gary's another one of those people, and we need them out there like yourself who don't need to say yes to a random message, but when you do, good things happen and friends are made.
Well, I'm just trying to amplify
That's
these
it.
stories from me. I am obviously not, when I get a Mike Daly on, we can talk about this, and then I'm going to put a Gary Top on. He's
Yeah.
been on before. He's been over before, but I
Great,
just know there's
great.
more stories. Like
I love
I
his
need more
book.
Garys, and I've had
Yeah.
Gary Cormier over too.
Oh,
so
wow,
Shout
wow.
out to the Garys.
Sick,
and,
sick.
and Bernie Finkelstein.
Wow.
Okay. Well,
You are.
I need to sit
You're
down.
I'm going to say you're a musicologist after having done this
You know
over
what? That'll be the
1,000
joke
episodes.
here.
Yeah.
I'm going to shit on everybody who calls himself a musicologist except Daly, who actually is one. But I myself will start referring to myself as Toronto Mike musicologist.
I think you can. I think because
I had
basically
to punch Alan Cross
yeah.
in the nose, and then he told me he never calls himself musicologist. Others call him, and then I had to take it all back. I just
Wow.
felt bad,
Okay, that's
but-
controversial. I didn't realize I was opening a can of worms or a
So Nash
bowl
Slash,
of
like,
pasta.
how well did you know Nash the Slash?
Really, not like Gary or Colin Brunton, but I knew him well enough. Like I booked him at the Brampton Indie Arts Festival. I booked him at another thing I did in Brampton called the Parade of Noises with like 700 kids playing homemade musical instruments, and I used to go to his shows all the time and hang out with him. And he's a huge influence. He's connected to the Residents and other really weird experimental musicians that I know and love. So yeah, really. He looms large for me, and I'm excited about this documentary to kind of to honor him.
Oh, no doubt.
Yep,
There's
yep.
a story there.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Another FOTM, you're
Okay.
in a steam company, is Ron Sexsmith.
Yes.
How well do you know Ron?
Well, I mean, he played the Arts Festival as well, and he's a Cameron House scene guy as well. He's kind of born from the Cameron House, and he's connected to me through Bob Wiseman, who produced some of his first works and mine. Bob Wiseman produced my very first record.
Okay, tell me about Ron and Bob. I want to hear about Bob Wiseman, of course.
And then if you, I think, look further into that tree of like connectedness,
I'm listening.
we're all connected. Bob Wiseman and I would not be connected were it not for the late, great Mendelssohn Joe, who
Just passed away.
Yeah, we're honoring him next week at the Transac on the 28th. We're going to be sending him off proper. And Joe, I can't speak higher of. Still just kind of processing that loss. But Bob, thankfully, came to me through Mendelssohn Joe and that connection. So I really love that. I really embrace that kind of lineage, and Joe was a huge supporter. I mean, Gary Top, we're all connected through, in a lot of ways, through Joe and his art and his work. So Joe also connects me with Hawksley Workman and many others. So it's
that man.
Yeah,
He's become a good bud, actually.
Right on.
Hawksley
I'm
Workman.
glad to hear that. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So well, let me back away from the mic, and if you don't mind, more on Mendelssohn Joe. I just I do this monthly episode where I reference people who passed away in the previous month, and I play some stuff. It's actually sponsored by Ridley Funeral Home.
Oh my God.
And Ridley Funeral Home, pillars of this community since 1921, wants you, Friendly Rich, to have this measuring tape. You never know when you need to measure something. That's yours, buddy.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Ridley.
I really appreciate that. Yeah.
And, where am I going? So what I really like, I'm just happy on behalf of Mendelssohn Joe that he was able to plan his exit.
Sure.
Like with medically assisted dying.
Sure.
His wife by his side.
Yep. Yeah.
And that's such a civilized way to exit when you have a debilitating disease like Mendelssohn Joe had. But talk to me about Mendelssohn Joe. Here, we're going to do a trifecta here. So Mendelssohn Joe, no longer with us. Who else did I want you to talk about? Nash the Slash.
Yeah.
And if you don't mind, you're also going to talk about Bob Wiseman. Go.
Okay. In that order?
Sure.
Great. Well, Mendelssohn Joe, wrote me a letter. He heard me do something on Brampton Weirdos 20 plus years ago on the CBC, and he wrote a postcard to the CBC, and the CBC were good enough to give it to me, and we became connected right away, pen pals. I share a cynicism. I share political activism. I share a lot of, just underdog kind of outsider artist. There's a lot we bonded on over the years, and to the point where like he really gave me a lot of his time and love, and he actually gifted me his guitar as he was no longer able to play it. So,
wow.
Yeah. It means a lot. It means a lot, that him passing that down to me, and he was like kind of like a father figure in a lot of ways, So I'd go up to the woods, I'd go up to Emsdale and visit him, and I know Bob Wiseman and I have that in common, and it's going to be nice to actually get together with Bob, and James B. will be there and many others next Tuesday night at the Transac to celebrate his life, and Karen Robinson, his wife, and an art dealer, and he used to say everyone needs a pimp, and he was really right on that subject, right? Every artist does need a pimp, because we're trying to find, like-minded people who resonate with the stuff that we make. So Joe he's on my last record called We Are All Terrorists. He actually sings a song, or he's intertwined in this tune called God Is Dead that features Dave Clark and the Woodshed Orchestra as well. So Joe looms large in my life. I'm going to really miss him. I don't know who the hell I'm going to write letters to. Like, a lot of us have been like, Selena Martin and many others have been like, who the hell am I gonna, bounce ideas off of that way, Like, it feels like Canada Post can almost just go away now.
Are we making Mendelssohn Joes anymore? Like, it feels like
I don't know. I feel like it's a very good question. Like, when I used to visit him in the woods, like, he'd have like all of the phone numbers to the CBC, every show, every producer, every politician on his wall, sharpied on his wall. I think that cabin, he left it when he got Parkinson's and moved in with Karen, but I don't know what becomes of that cabin. Wow. I don't know. I hope those activists are out there. I hope that in a way I'm one of them.
Yeah,
I really feel the torch as he gives me his guitar. I really feel that torch being passed, and it's heavy. It's a heavy torch, but we got to like we
But
have to
that's
remain
why he gave it to you.
engaged.
He
Yeah.
knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
He knew what he was
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah, I hope so. I don't take it lightly, and I just feel honored, and in a way, kind of just, yeah, like his even his music, everything about Joe like needs to kind of live on, and so I've been taking on a lot of his songs now, and just like relearning them and playing them through his guitar. Just feels very, very spiritual in a lot of ways. I'm not that spiritual a guy, but it's hard to ignore that, you know.
And if you go to Mendelssohn Joe's website, he has farewell letters right there.
It's
on the
so
homepage.
beautiful.
Yeah, it
so
is.
beautiful. So beautiful. Yeah.
I did read an excerpt in the most recent Ridley Funeral Home Memorial
Wow.
episode.
Wow.
And yeah, it was powerful stuff.
Wow.
Okay, now I did drop a bunch of names on you, but
Nash.
Bob Wiseman. Yeah, well, Nash is I think I don't know if you drained the swamp there.
Yeah,
on
we
the Nash-
talked
Yeah,
enough about Nash.
I think it was Ron. So Ron Sexsmith's just a sweetheart, right?
Yeah, Ron's a lovely guy, and he's always made time for me, and there's a lot of nice people in Canadian music, aren't there?
He's a punny guy, right? Like I mean, on Twitter at
his
least.
Twitter
it's
is
yes.
Him and Hawksley have a good thing going. I mean, I'm way more close with Hawksley. Like Hawksley produced one of my records.
Well, talk to me about Hawksley because
Yeah,
there's a
yeah.
guy like I mean, we text each other all the time.
Yeah. Very
we have
giving.
long phone
Yeah.
calls.
Yeah.
I almost produced a podcast called Hawksley Night in Canada.
Yes,
and
that was you.
Yeah, he was so worried he
Yes.
would be unfiltered and would get himself canceled. Like this was his
Oh, wow.
words. Like so he
Yes.
was hesitant to do it because
Yeah.
he doesn't know. Like if he talks freely, he thinks he'll get himself in trouble.
Sure, I
Not that he has
remember him.
radical like.
I didn't know that was you, Mike. He would talk to me about that.
Yeah.
I didn't
So
realize that
that's
making
me.
that connection.
That means small
Yeah.
world.
Yeah, it is. It is. That's nice.
Because he loves what was happening here.
Yep. Yeah.
And he had his during the pandemic. He did
Yep.
his Hawksley Night in Canada.
Yep. And well, in the pandemic, he and I went into a different phase of our relationship where I was getting up at like 4 a.m. and doing these long winter walks, and he's up pretty damn early.
Right.
So we'd do like okay man, 5 a.m. call tomorrow, and I just
Wow.
walk the neighborhood. And
That
he
is
would,
early.
Yeah, it was kind of fun.
Wow.
We were getting into it. We were getting into a lot of interesting subjects, going deeper, you know, in our relationship. And he's an inspiration. I really admire his body of work, and he's just kept punching, you know, and we kind of need to. So I feel very blessed to have made that record, The Great Blue Heron, with him in Emsdale. Or in Berks Falls, actually, where he was. Yeah, at his old studio there near Mendelssohn Joe. So that was a fun week that we took making that record with him and Kevin Bright.
Amazing.
Yeah.
What about Cuff the Duke?
I mean, I know those guys. I booked them for the Arts Festival. I wouldn't say we're close.
You're not doing 5 a.m. calls.
But no 5 a.m. calls. But I admire anyone still doing it. You gotta give them credit for just survival strength. Yeah.
Okay, one more name from your like Brampton Indie Arts Festival era, and then I want to ask you about the CBC. But
Okay.
Hayden Desser.
Yeah, booked him as well. Admire him. It was a beautiful show. Like I remember, packed Heritage Theater, which is now gone defunct. It lies empty without a plan. But that's how our politicians treat space, right? Hayden was lovely, and a beautiful solo show he put on. I haven't really kept in touch since, but that's how it goes.
He's got good hair.
Really nice hair. Yeah.
A little jealous. Okay, tell me about your relationship, friendly Rich, with CBC Radio.
Well, I used to do a lot of stuff on Outfront, and that's how I got to know Mendelssohn Joe. I would produce little radio documentaries on like Bocce or like Rush Geeks or Weirdos in Brampton. That was the one that was the one that Joe picked up on. So it was an outlet. It was an avenue. I mean, when I see our government's trying to kind of dismantle CBC, it reminds me of people like Mendelssohn Joe and staying engaged with our community through that thread of radio and television. More so radio for me is where I gravitate.
You know who was here, I'm going to say 3 weeks ago, making his Toronto Mike debut, as you are today, Brent Bambury.
Oh, great.
And
Wow.
we talked quite a bit about Brave New Waves.
Oh, the best, right? I mean, I discovered so much weird music through Brave New Waves, and Patty Schmidt was another great supporter of my work. And
Right.
I love that. Forgot about that. Yeah.
Well, I'm here to remind you of all the things, friendly Rich. I meant to play this off the top here. Do you know what today is? Firstly, how about this? Do you know this song, or do you need to hear it a little more to make it call?
This isn't ringing a bell.
All right. Well, I'm gonna give it because I love it. I'm gonna give it a
Do it.
moment, and then we're gonna talk about why am I playing this song. And I will tell you, my efforts to get the lead singer and the songwriter, I tried to get him on Toronto Mike, but he's too busy as a scientist in British Columbia. He's like a scientist now, and I wanted to drop his episode today because today is the first day of spring.
Oh.
And this song, which I love, is called The First Day of Spring. And this band, I believe, from Guelph, Ontario, is called the Gandharvas.
Yes. Wow, you're
Here
going.
it comes.
There
Mid
Yeah.
90s, I'd say.
Yeah.
I live in
I
the
didn't
mid-90s.
realize they were from Guelph. There you go. I love
Okay.
how random that
I
is.
have to
That's
correct
really
myself.
beautiful.
Apparently they're from London, Ontario,
Okay,
not Guelph.
okay.
Who's from
That's
Guelph
okay.
that I'm confusing them with? Okay, they're from London. Close enough, right?
Very nice, very nice. Constantines, maybe you're right?
No, another band, like another 90s alt rock. And it was
Okay.
Paul Jago is the name of the guy who's a
Okay.
scientist in
Oh, wow.
BC right now. Okay, so shout out to Gandharvas from
I
London,
love
Ontario.
Yes.
And, yeah, okay, London, Guelph. It's all one blob to
The
me.
home of the Nihilist Spasm Band.
Right?
London, Ontario.
Right.
There you go.
All right, first day of spring, everybody.
Yeah, happy
If you
spring.
have any Friendly Rich, if you have any old tech like obsolete technology, stuff piling up in your living room that you want to get rid of, don't throw that shit in the garbage, man. That doesn't want to go in the landfills. There's a lot of chemicals and stuff in that tech. You got to go to recyclemyelectronics.ca and find out somewhere near you that's been verified, accredited by the good people at EPRA. They will tell you where to go if you're old tech so it can be safely and properly recycled.
Yeah, I love using a nice Dell computer. I'm sponsored by Dell. And my old Dells, I'm going to throw those right out. Not in Lake Ontario.
No, you're going to find out at recyclemyelectronics.ca.
That's where I'm going.
Do you remember WKRP when he's like, speed kills, Dell?
Yeah.
Remember this?
No. But I love that show, so I'll believe you.
I love that show, too. I love it when, Dr. Johnny Fever would drink his Great Lakes beer and his reflexes would get faster.
Is that a Jerry Cheevers mask up there? What is this mask
No,
on
it's like,
your wall?
it's from the... older than that, I think,
Okay,
but
okay.
that
Wow.
Cheevers would mark with
Yeah, his was-
stitches
that's
when
right,
you
that's right,
took a puck
Cheevers.
to the.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jerry Cheevers. Shout out to Don
Jerry
Cherry.
Cheevers. Great name,
Don
Jerry
Cherry's
Cheevers.
listening. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I want
Ron
to ask
McLean,
you,
too. Ron McLean. Shout out to
Ron
Ron
McLean's
McLean.
an FOTM.
Yeah, thank you.
So you're in the good company of Ron. You
Thank
know,
you
he's
for
born
that.
in Germany.
Thank you for that.
Did you know that?
I don't know. I did not know that. Shout out to Germany.
Military base in Frankfurt, I think.
Oh, okay,
But,
okay, wow.
Yeah, then he went Red Deer, Alberta.
Great.
All right, I want to talk about Man Out of Time. You told me this is going to be available March 31st.
Yep. End of the month. Couple weeks.
Yeah, this is the first day of spring, March 20. All right, what can you tell me? And then maybe it will help us. You want me to play some stuff and we can talk about this
You go
new
for it.
LP?
Yeah, man. You know what?
You still call them LPs?
Yeah, well, it's released on We Are Busybodies record label, and they're pressing vinyl of this thing, which ships internationally, which is exciting. So yes, LP, go for it.
All right, well, I'm going to bring Gandharvas into Friendly Rich as,
Look
as
at
God
this
intended.
mix. This is exciting. Gonna do a little crossfade here. Oof.
Out of time, hit rewind, blow my mind. I'm a man out of time, in his prime, draw the line. I don't wanna burn on your funeral file. Just another day's all that I desire.
Is this you doing your best Leonard Cohen?
Yeah.
Or is this Brad Roberts from
There you
Crash
go.
Test
There you go. A
Dummies?
little bit of all that is in my my garlic sauce, my Palmer's
Wow.
garlic.
I can't get, because I tried, now that I've got like Crash Test Dummies on
Yeah,
the
yeah,
mind,
yeah,
I've been
yeah,
trying to
yeah.
do it like, once there was this girl who,
Right.
like, I can't go down there.
Yeah,
but you
yeah.
can.
You know, I just started taking throat singing lessons, Tuvan throat singing lessons, trying to expand
Is
my
that true?
breadth on that. Yeah.
Because
Trying to-
you got a deep delivery on
Thank
this
you.
jam, man, at
Thank
a
you.
time. And
Thank you.
I'm insanely jealous right now.
Oh wow. Well, look, it's,
I was already jealous of the beard when you arrived at
Yeah.
the door, and now the voice, the beard is too much for me.
Holy cow, right? Yeah. No, that's the title track, Man Out of Time, and it only goes weirder from here. This is the opening track of the record too, and it's a ride. It kind of like captures a few of my different musical personalities and voices over the years. Yeah.
Well, I'm going right into another jam here.
This is an interpretation of Félix Leclerc, the great Quebecois songwriter.
You don't have to tell me that. I'm a musicologist.
Thank you, please. Featuring Mike T. Kerr and Drew Jureka.
Ils m'ont porté de l'école à la guerre. J'ai travaillé sur mes souliers ferrés. Le monde est sa misère.
Oh, you can feel that in you can just feel it in the soles of your feet, that bass there. You know, my buddy Stu Stone, who's an FOTM Hall of Famer, actually, he also, much like you and Tom Green on MTV, he has an MTV pedigree. This is him with Jamie Kennedy. They had a rap album called Blowing Up. They had an
Whoa.
MTV show and everything.
Oh, yeah, wow.
You might have crossed paths with him at an MTV party or two.
Oh, my God.
Who knows? But why am I bringing him up? Because he thought the Sopranos theme song
Yes.
was a Leonard Cohen jam.
Ah.
But this is a Leonard Cohen song.
Yeah, possibly channeling that spirit.
Wow.
For sure.
Wow.
Yeah, it's got a vibe, right? This record, and super proud of it, man. Super proud of it.
Okay, March 31st. I'll be counting the seconds here.
The last tune is the Nasha Slash one, the honoring Nasha Slash. It's called "Thanks for All the Fish." If you want to give that a little taste test.
Well, yeah, I'll take it up because here's what I'll do. I'll play a bit of this while I go fish for that one.
Okay. Ah, this is Killdozer.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Love it. Tom Uhas.
Downtown at Hyde,
I'll shut up. And Joan Smith.
the tavern in the dark saloon.
And his brother Sly Uhas on the drums from Budapest.
A barrel of blood drip from the neck of your love. Everybody in the town's going down. Everybody in the town come Take me to the end of the road, where the madman box with the cloud. You were raining on the round parade, where the sirens of a sound of the rave.
Who's the woman on background vocals?
That's Joan Smith from Joan Smith and the Jane Does, an
Nice.
excellent Toronto band. Yes. We've been sharing the stage a lot lately. Friendly Rich and the Jane Does. We've been kind of amalgamating our bands, and it's been really exciting. Very punk rock thing to do, right? It's just like share your music and maybe even do releases together, you know?
Love it. Little Frank Zappa vibe going on here. Is he
sure.
a musical influence in your
Definitely. Yeah.
life? Okay.
Grew up, that stuff changed my life for sure.
So I'm almost ready for the Nash the Flash tribute here, but your files are so enormous it's still loading in, believe it or not.
Well, that's
They're
what they
very
say
big
about my files.
You
Big
have the biggest
big
files. Okay, here
yeah.
we go.
Thanks for all the fish. It's time to roll up the bandages. Back off, you cutthroats, and wash away the pain. The sting of insignificance haunts me again. Decomposing, I am.
So yeah, Gary Top, Nash's Slash. We're in the mix on writing some of these words for Nash's website. And I kind of took them and turned them into something a little different. Yeah.
Gauze lobotomy.
I'm excited to learn about the documentary. I'm
Yeah.
excited to learn about this song.
Yeah.
Thank you for all the fish. And Friendly Rich, I'm excited to meet you. Is there anything
too.
like on your way here you're saying, oh, I want to make sure I tell this story or talk about this? Is there anything I missed here that you want? This is your chance.
Oh my gosh. No, you know what?
Putting you on the
It
spot.
has been a great kind of walk down memory lane. Mike, you know what you've done? You've helped me realize how many people we're all kind of connected, and that's special, and I don't take that lightly. I think it's really the beauty in what we do as musicians and people in arts and culture. So really, thanks for the opportunity to share my story with you and your listeners. And of course, people can go to friendlyrich.com to learn more about my stuff.
He's friendly. He's rich. Go to friendlyrich.com. Any lowest of the low stories? Any Ron Hawkins stories?
No.
No. Okay, well, Ron Hawkins, his Rosie and Gray from Shakespeare My Butt, takes us home every episode of Toronto Mike.
Beautiful.
Thank you, Friendly Rich. It was a pleasure getting to know you. Good
mine.
luck with the new release on March 31st. Everybody go to friendlyrich.com for more. And that brings us to the end of our 1,222nd show. You can follow me on Twitter. I'm at Toronto Mike. Now, Friendly Rich is at Friendly Rich, but there's an underscore between those two words, so it's at friendly_rich. Somebody beat you to Friendly Rich? Somebody grab that.
Really, what was I thinking when I made that Twitter handle? It's at Friendly Rich on Instagram. I wised up when it was time to get an Instagram account.
All right. Shout out to Bobby Wiseman. Okay. Our friends at Great Lakes Brewery. I'm actually meeting my accountant there on Friday if you want to come by and say hi. That's a true story.
That's
At
exciting.
The South Etobicoke location, not the Jarvis and Queens Key location. They're at Great Lakes Beer. Palma Pasta's at Palma Pasta. I really do have a lasagna for you, Mr. Friendly Rich.
Oh, what a great thing. I haven't eaten dinner tonight. This is exciting.
Well, it's frozen solid. I don't know if you're having it tonight, but tomorrow night for sure.
Okay.
Recycle My Electronics are at EPRA_Canada. Ridley Funeral Home. They're at Ridley FH. See you later this week. My next guest making his Toronto Mike debut is John Doerr.
For me and you, but I'm a much better man for having known you. Oh, you know that's true because everything is coming up rosy and green. Yeah, the wind is cold, but the smell of snow warms me today. And your smile is fine, and it's just like mine, and it won't go away. 'Cause everything is
guitar just the best that I can. Maybe I'm not and maybe I am. Who gives a damn, because everything is coming up rosy and green. Yeah, the wind is cold, but the smell of snow warms me today. And your smile is fine and it's just like mine.